Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about Gdansk, Poland. Now, Gdansk is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Very easy to get to from the airport, and every which way you look, left, right, up, down, there's so much to see and some of the most beautiful architecture in all of Europe and all of Poland. So first off, how do you actually get to Gdansk from the airport? Well, there's a few ways. You could obviously take a taxi or an Uber, or you could take the bus. I recommend doing the bus because it only costs about the equivalent of really 1 or 2 euros. It was very cheap, and it was only about 45 minutes into the main city center from the bus from the airport. And you can get the bus right directly out of the airport. It's not very hard to get to, and there are definitely a lot of signs. So this is the main center of Gdansk. This is right about where the bus will drop you off depending on your stop. And this is the heart of the town. Here you can see the main center with all the buildings as well as the iconic tower there with the clock. And it is absolutely beautiful. I recommend getting there usually in the morning time because there's definitely less people out and about. I say this photo was taken probably about 9 in the morning. However, I was out and about walking at about 7, and I can tell you right now the streets were clear. There was nobody out. So do definitely recommend getting out in the morning and getting that photo. Unfortunately, it is Poland, so naturally it's going to be very cloudy. I think I had like half a day where there was some sun, and that was about it. The rest of the time was cloudy, so do be prepared for that. Um, this is right outside of the city center, so this is kind of just crossing that bridge. I mean, it's still technically the center, but it's just a little bit on the outside of it. Still probably only about a 5-10 minute walk from that watch or that clock tower. So still very close. And the things I like about Dansk is even though there's newer parts of the city, they still try to maintain that old look. So you'll see here on the left, we have that one photo of the buildings, and it's kept with the original style and the original architecture. If you look on the photo on the right, it's more newer, more modern buildings. However, they're still maintaining that architecture as if it was an older building. So you're not losing that style and that flavor there, even with the newer buildings. And that's one thing I really, really like about Dansk and what they do. They try to keep their culture and they don't try to, ruin it with newer fancy buildings like some European cities do. So you can't go to Dansk or really Poland in general and not try the food because it is the best food in the world, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. And what you're looking here is a iconic bread bowl soup. And what's inside is a mixture of kibasi, leeks, potatoes, and some creamy sauce. And it is so good. Also, you gotta try the pierogies. These are Russian pierogies. There's two types, at least that I found, mainly in Dansk. You have Russian or Greece pierogies. Now, when I say grease, it's more of like a fatty liquid, and it's okay. It's not my favorite. I do definitely prefer the Russian pierogies. They're a little bit more creamy and kind of have that nice savory and I guess sour creamy kind of flavor to them. But all of this right here in terms of cost, the soup was only about 6 euros. Pierogies again 6 euros. And if you look up in the upper right hand corner, my girlfriend she actually got a steak, and I think she only paid about 8 or 9 euros for it. So again, price is very cheap. I wouldn't worry about that, especially in Poland. I think what I was paying for breakfast as well was only about 5 euros for a relatively large meal. It's about a English breakfast, so it consisted of your eggs, sausage, bacon, toast, and that kind of stuff. And it was only about again 5 euros. But Polish food, hands down, to die for, is very very good, and I would highly highly recommend the soup as well as the pierogies. So again, what you're looking at here is just more photos of the city center as a whole. These were taken just walking towards that clock tower down one of those side streets. So just more buildings. They start to kind of merge and kind of look as if they're one. When you walk down all of the streets, they all have that similar kind of building style to them. There's also actually a beach you can go to if you decide to go to Dansk. I do recommend definitely taking a bus or tram there to it. Now, we originally walked all the way from Dansk city center to the beach, which was about 5 miles, so it did take quite some time, which, as you would expect, 5 miles is pretty far walking distance. But we wanted the exercise and just wanted to get out of dance, so that's what we did. And we got the tram back to the main city center. But the beach was definitely worth going to. It is on the port city, so on the left-hand side there is of this picture specifically, there would be a giant port system with boats and stuff like that. But if you look out to the right, like more like in this photo and that photo as well, obviously there's no boats. The beach, I will say, was absolutely freezing. The water was very cold, but you kind of imagine that to be the case when it's a Baltic country. It is also full of jellyfish. I will say that, walking just up and down this coast, I mean, there was hundreds, if not thousands, of jellyfish all throughout here. So do keep an eye out for them. And yeah, so that'll do it really for Dansk. It is definitely a trip worth taking. Like I said, you only really need a weekend trip. That's all we did, and there was plenty of time to see the sights and to get a good feel. Now, if I was going to go to Dansk again, I would step outside, go to a few other places, maybe surrounding that city. But Gdansk in itself does have a lot to do and to keep you entertained. They also have a nice mall you could visit, one of the biggest I've been to really in Europe, and very clean and very modern. So I would also recommend the mall in Gdansk as well. But yeah, like I said, that'll do it. Please feel free to give me a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them below.